Hi, my name is Dr. Tyler Wright.
And I'm Dr. Laura Wright, and we practice here in Anchorage, Alaska.
Originally, we practiced in Jackson, Wyoming, and when we joined the Mastermind group, we had visions of growing our practice in that town. Unfortunately, we came to find that there were more obstacles and opportunities for us in Jackson.
So some of the big obstacles that we were facing was just the rising cost of living there. Real estate was really expensive, so our rent and our ability to grow in a bigger space was limited. Our vision of purchasing and owning our own business was just seeming more and more unlikely there as costs became astronomical. And then for us with two small kids, we were commuting from Alpine, a commuter town outside of Jackson, into Jackson. So we just had a long commute, and it was getting longer every day as more people moved to the area to play Yellowstone. And then our kids were going to be going to school when they got to school age farther south, the opposite direction. And we were just going to be a couple hours away from them, and we were going to be spending our lives in the car and them on buses.
On top of that, it was difficult to retain employees because they had the same difficulty getting to work as we had. In addition, we had difficulty retaining our client base, maintaining good numbers consistently throughout the year. We always had highs in the summer and highs in the winter, but when it wasn't a good snow year anymore, people would go to their second, third, fourth, or fifth home, wherever there might actually be a good snow load. Same thing in the summer.
So just before attending the first Mastermind in Phoenix, Arizona, we started to realize that maybe Jackson wasn't our place to build what we wanted to build. And so I'd always made a joke, when Jackson gets too crazy, I'm moving to Alaska.
And little did Laura know that I held on to that sentiment deeply. And Jackson was a great place. We had a lot of fun there. We just kind of put it into our long-term vision that we would eventually move to Alaska.
So we went to the first Mastermind saying, here's how we're doing in Jackson, but we're looking at maybe moving. And within that very first weekend, this eventual timeline that we had made got very condensed. We got the support, we got the sounding board of the team saying, hey, you guys could do this. So within 2.5 weeks, we were flying up to Anchorage, Alaska. I'd been before, Tyler had never been, checking it out. We actually drove by what is now our office space at that point and looked at it.
Here we were able to leverage ourselves into a position where we could buy an office space right away. So even though we don't have a fully operating practice, we have a building and we have a big build out coming up, but that just enables us to really push forward with confidence. So needless to say, we had a very positive experience with the Mastermind. On top of expediting our curve and getting us here to Anchorage, there's so much that we learned that we've applied to our practice and or created systems for down the road once we grow a practice. Really just the implementation of systems has been huge. Learning about how to integrate AI into our practice to help with those little tasks, those $20 tasks that we might pay someone for otherwise. The marketing, the social media aspect.
To say there's different topics every weekend. There's amazing guest speakers that Kevin brings in, and we learn so much during that weekend, both in the Mastermind when we're sitting around the table itself, but also from the other members of the Mastermind, both during those weekends and then outside of the weekend. They have so much, like just wealth of knowledge, depth of experience. Many of them are farther along in practice, and they're so willing to help and guide us. I would highly recommend the MCM Mastermind if you want to grow and expand your practice. We learn both how to nail down systems for the everyday in practice, as well as you're encouraged to do new and big things. You don't necessarily have to move 2,700 miles to a subarctic climate, but if you do, and it's the right direction for you, you're gonna have this amazing support system to guide you as you do it.
I would also highly recommend joining the MCM Mastermind group, especially for someone who fails to recognize the opportunities and obstacles in front of you. For us, it was nice because we kind of transitioned from this period where we felt like we were on an island in our clinic, in our practice. And now we have this great support system around us that we can lean on, that we can reach out to anytime we have questions or concerns.